Hey there, welcome back to Work-Life Harmony. Today, this should be a pretty quick episode here, but I always like to try and keep them short so that you have time to keep up with all of them. If you're like me, I consume a lot of podcasts, and I always appreciate them when it's kind of like one specific thing that I can digest and learn and think about and implement. So today I want to share with you this idea of list ownership and how you may or may not recognize the actual added stress that we don't realize that is going on in our head, especially this time of year when we're trying to juggle everything. At the time I'm recording this, we're ramping up, heading into Thanksgiving and the whole holiday season. Now, if you are like me, I always, jokingly refer to myself as the COO of our household. I am the one that, knows all the things that are going on, the schedule, the who needs to be where, the what's due, all that kind of stuff. And while my family members participate and I assign tasks to them, I am the task list owner. And it was recently when I was listening to another podcast, and I had been talking about this idea of ownership and how do we actually delegate the ownership, not just the task. And it was fascinating because they were talking about the exact same thing. And I love the way that she described it, which was this feeling of a ticker tape going across in our head, right? Of constantly all the things. So here is what I want to share with you and challenge you to start doing a little bit differently. And it's something I've been working on as well. Now, warning, it will require you letting go of some control, which isn't always easy for me. And I know a lot of us women sometimes struggle with this because it might mean things aren't done exactly the way we want them. But here's scenario number one. You have a list of, 27 things, and you sit down with your family and you say, okay, I'm assigning this task to family member one, and I'm assigning this task to family member two. So you put their name next to the task, but the list, you're still owning the list. Now, what does that mean? That means you are likely following up with them. Is it done? You're checking in. You haven't fully released yourself from the ownership of the task as long as the task is still on the list that you are managing. And it's so subtle, but it was such a wake-up call for me one day when I was like, why don't I feel any less stressed? I have, quote, taken these things off my plate because I've assigned them to other family members. Yet here I am doing the follow-up, checking in, doing the reminding, which means it really isn't off my list. So instead of owning the list and checking in, which is more of a management style, I want to encourage you to embrace full-on delegation. Meaning, if you assign responsibility to an individual for another task, that task no longer lives on your list. Meaning you're not checking in, and also meaning you are letting go with the how it is done. Sounds great, but yeah, I do recognize easier said than done, right? So one of the things that I offload some weeks, my husband and I both share the grocery shopping responsibility and meal planning. So on weeks where I'm not doing it, does it mean that the grocery shopping is done the way I like? Of course not. Is there food in the house I wish wasn't? Yes. But you know what? That freedom of thought and execution and all of it is off my plate. And so I can just be happy and rejoice in the fact that I didn't make it happen. Same with potentially some laundry. Maybe you start offloading some of those responsibilities. And if you're super particular about how you want your clothes done, maybe you just wash your own, but then you let the chips fall where they may, and you actually take it off of your list. So I think that, the busier we get, the more we have on our list, we sometimes can do a pretty good job of kind of assigning task ownership. I know something I've been working on a lot over the last couple of years is not taking everything on myself. But the piece that I was missing was that actually getting it off my list. My list wasn't any shorter. The list was all there just with different names on it. So I felt like I was constantly checking in, as opposed to truly offloading the responsibility of thought, where now it is actually out of your head, off of your list, and onto somebody else's. So I want to challenge all of you listening to come up with one thing that you are not just going to put a name next to, but remove from your responsibility of thought. And now it becomes somebody else's. So if you are ready to do this challenge with me, by all means, shout it out, tag me over on Instagram at Megan Sumrell as you listen to this episode. Let me know that you are actually going to remove full responsibility, and then go tag a friend that you know could use this help as well. Because ladies, it is time for us all to lighten our load.